Hey, welcome to Integrated Preparedness. How are you all today? I'm Steve Smith. We'll talk about having a little survival drill here in a minute. But right now we're up at Lookout Mountain in Chattanooga, above Chattanooga. This is the area. Matter of fact, let me give you before we get to our drill. This is the location of several interesting battles in that war in northern aggression. The Battle of Chattanooga, the Battle of Chickamauga, the Battle of Lookout Mountain, and Missionary Ridge. And it's starting to rain on me. It's a beautiful area up here. Let's go ahead and walk up here a little bit to I'm going to walk up to another spot you can see a little bit better over the lowlands. But I'll tell you about a drill that you might be interested in. I forgot my tripod and I forgot my mic, so I'll just try to talk loud enough, and maybe you can hear me. Okay. The other day, after I made that one about the cannibal CME coming, and I talked about what we would do if we had to hoof it home. I decided yesterday to have a little drill with the kids. Now, Kelly is she listens to me all the time. She knows pretty much what's going on. Okay, I'm going to turn around here in a minute, let you see behind us. And of course, Aiden, my oldest, he does a lot of the work for me. So he is very, there you go. Can you all see that? Can you all see that? Isn't that pretty? There's one of mine over there. Well, I'll just stay right here. I'm going to get you in the picture, buddy, if you stay there. So I'm pointing it back at me. Well, let's see. Let me get around here so you all can see. You don't need to see cannons. You know what cannons look like. Let's do this. So, I decided yesterday, while we were driving, I think we were driving from where? Gatlinburg down to Chattanooga. I said, well, let's have a little drill, a little mental drill, because I like to do that with the kids. And it's difficult because I don't hammer this stuff into them. I don't hammer the preparedness at them all the time. But I said it'll be interesting to see what they would do. I mentioned to you, and what brought it on, I'll tell you this, what brought it on is my daughter, who never, she doesn't, get into this. She doesn't care about this that much. And so I'm always surprised when I discover that she has heard something that I've said. She's 11. You fathers know what I'm talking about, right? I'm always surprised when she heard something that I said. But she asked me, she says, did you say, because she heard me reference it in my previous video, she said, did you say you're writing another book series? And I says, yeah. She says, cool. Well, I was surprised at that too, right? That she would think that was cool. And you all see the river back here? Make sure that you got a good enough view of it too, besides me. Let me go this way. And I said, yeah. Well, she kind of left it that, and I thought, I wonder how much the kids kind of pick up on this. I know that my oldest does. I know that my second son, he's kind of interested in it. He's about halfway through the reversion, reading the reversion. But you don't know exactly how much they're picking up. And of course, if we had to walk back, they are my team, right? I need them on the same page. So I thought, well, I just want to see how much they have picked up just by being around, listening, and their own thought processes. It's easy to sell people short. Just because people aren't all involved in preparedness doesn't mean that they're stupid. It just means they don't talk about it. So I told them as we were driving on that wonderful rainy highway down through North Carolina, I said, let me give you all a scenario. Here's the scenario. We wake up in the morning in our hotel, in our lodge, It was a beautiful place by the river there, and nothing is on. What would you do? And I said, now think about this. Kind of like the scenario in my books. Let's say, you know, that it's a CME, because that's what we had talked about. Or let's say that grid is down, what for whatever reason, you know. But we don't know that at the time. What would we do? And I started off with my daughter, 11 years old. And I said, we always start off with the youngest, because I don't expect the youngest to know as much as the older ones, right? So it's the same thing we do in church. Or if I ask them to explain, you know, a Bible passage, youngest first, and then the next oldest gets to expand on it to whatever extent they can, and then the oldest after that. And I says, you first, honey. And I was astounded. I was astounded at how much, I mean, she told me exactly what we should do. I'm not going to tell you, okay, what we did. But it was not the answer you would expect from an 11-year-old girl that you don't think is listening, right? She went through the whole thing about how we should wait, how we determine, how do we find out what's going on, what do we get for supplies, where do we get it, how we should make our way home. I mean, it was amazing. It was amazing what she said. By the time she got done, I said, well, then I turned to my second oldest. I said, can you think of anything that she left out that you would add? And he said, well, and he found a few things to add, but man, I mean, she had gotten most of it. And then after he had his say, I turned it over to my oldest and said, can you think of anything? And naturally, you know, he thought of a few more things, kind of refinements more than anything else, not big things. And I was astounded. I really was. And then I let them kind of, you know, talk more about it. It was a fascinating discussion for Dad to listen to, as those three, 16, almost 17, 13, and 11, discussed, or 12, sorry, man. She's 12. She's not 11. She's 12. But she just turned, just to give me a break, she just turned 12. So, and I listened to them talk, and it was just amazing to me, the conversations that they had, refining the plans and how much they were into it and how right they were about what they should do. I could find very little to correct and not a lot to add. I'll be honest with you. So anyway, I would suggest, you know, with your family, with your kids, with your grandkids, whatever, you know, when you make it a game, when you try to, you know, ram it down their throats, it doesn't work. When you try to teach them, when you try to tell them, it doesn't work. But you give kids something to get their teeth into and use their imaginations on and kind of work together on, and a project, kind of a project. Kids love projects. And man, they will go at it. They really will go at it. And it was amazing. So anyway, I would suggest that as a drill. Do that with your family. Do that with your kids, your grandkids. And I would love to know what they come up with, or what the results of your discussion. But in any case, all of these things should be used as a drill whenever you're traveling, especially when you're traveling, because that is our biggest danger, isn't it? When we're away from our home base, when we're away from most of our supplies, that's the biggest danger. What would you do? You should always use traveling as a drill. So anyway, I thought I'd share that with you all. Let me know, you know, if you've done the same thing, if you maybe do the same. I know that some of you do pretty much that on a regular basis. Share that with everybody. I'm particularly interested in because I know that we'll get much lengthier comments over on the Patreon channel. By the way, I didn't even welcome the new people, and I should. We have so many new people joining, both on the YouTube channel and the Patreon channel. If you're not with us on Patreon, please come over. You get so much more. It's $1 a month, but you get so much more, not just from me, but from our our other patrons, and the community section is just full of information. It's really a resource, and I always put the link down below in the information or the description or whatever section, and a pinned comment, along where you can buy the books, the Stonemont series. If you haven't gotten into the Stonemont series yet, you should. You'll learn a lot, and you'll love the story. Yeah, I wrote them. That's what I am. I'm not really a YouTube guy. I'm a writer, and I've taught, preparedness for many 40 years. And I just do YouTube because it's kind of a normal extension of my books and my teaching and everything like that. That's for the people who are new here. So you all have let me know what you all do. Enjoy this. Isn't this a beautiful place? I'll swing it around here again so you can see. This is a beautiful park. It's called Point Park. It's the point at which they looked out over the river and the approaching armies. You can just imagine, can't you? A lot of history here, a lot of history in our country. Anyway, you all, I'm going to let you go because we've got a lot more to do. And let me know, what you do as far as drills, whether you've done them in the past, whether you do them now, whether you do them in the future. Go ahead and leave your comment. Everybody would enjoy. First off, everybody would enjoy reading it, and then they might learn something, or you might be able to share something. You might learn something from reading other people's comments. So I'm gonna sign off. Remember that we prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow. And I'm gonna go on, and I think we're gonna go eat. That's preparing so that I'm not hungry, right? Okay. You guys have a great day. We're headed back home tomorrow. I'll probably talk to you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.